Have you ever looked at the American flag and wondered why it looks the way it does? It's more than just cloth and color. It's a story, a living map of a nation's journey. The reason it changed so many times is woven into the very fabric of America's growth, its struggles, and its ever-evolving identity. Let's travel back to 1777. The leaders of a new, rebellious nation needed a symbol of unity. They chose 13 stripes and 13 stars, one for each colony. Red for courage, white for purity, and blue for justice. The first design, often called the Betsy Ross flag, featured the stars in a circle to show that no single colony stood above the others. It was a simple, powerful promise of a new nation. But nations don't stand still. They grow, they breathe, they expand. As settlers pushed westward, new states began to join the Union. If the flag didn't change with the country, it would lose its meaning. In 1795, Vermont and Kentucky were welcomed, and the flag grew to 15 stars and 15 stripes. It was a proud gesture, but it quickly became clear that adding a new stripe for every new state was impractical. A symbol has to be durable, and this one was getting a little messy. So, in 1818, a brilliant compromise was reached. The 13 stripes would remain forever, a permanent tribute to the original colonies. From then on, a new star would be added for each new state. This decision created a living design, a flag that could grow alongside the nation without losing its core identity. It was a star for every voice, a new point of light added to the sky to mark each new chapter. Throughout the 1800s, the constellation of stars grew. As territories became states, the flag reflected a union of people and places. By the time of the Civil War, the stars on the flag took on a new, painful significance. The very idea of union was being tested by fire, and the flags carried by armies on both sides became powerful messages of identity, authority, and hope for what the nation could be. Then came the Industrial Age and the World Wars. The flag transformed into a global emblem of the American presence. By World War II, it had 48 stars. It was flown across oceans and battlefields, stitched onto the shoulders of soldiers, and raised over liberated cities, becoming a symbol of freedom for people far beyond America's borders. Finally, in 1959 and 1960, the last two stars found their place. Alaska and Hawaii completed the constellation we know today. The 50-star flag was born, a design that has now endured for over 60 years, a quiet testament to the nation's modern shape. But this story isn't just about counting stars. It's about what they represent. Each change marked how Americans understood themselves and their values at that moment in time. Sometimes, a new star signaled inclusion, as territories became states and their people were folded into the promise of the Union. Other times, the changes reflected the messy, complicated work of democracy, where new states meant new balances of power, new representatives, and new political debates. Beyond the laws and votes in Congress, the flag's evolution taught a vital cultural lesson. Symbols must stay relevant to remain powerful. The 1818 design genius was creating flexibility within continuity. The flag could stay instantly recognizable while still making room for growth. And as the design stabilized, the flag's meaning multiplied. It became a rallying point in crisis, a banner for protests and progress, a cloth that could carry both immense grief and overwhelming pride. Think of the flag being raised at Iwo Jima, or draped over a fallen hero's coffin, or waved wildly at a victory parade. Each context adds another layer to its profound meaning. Today, when you see those 50 stars rippling in the wind, they aren't just a pattern. They are echoes of treaties signed, battles fought, and communities joined. Every star is a history lesson, the frontier that became a state, the compromise that held a fragile union together, the people who sought representation and found it. So, why did the American flag change so many times? Because America itself was changing. As the territory expanded, as populations shifted, and as politics evolved, the flag adapted to mirror those transformations. All the while, it held on to its core promise of union and liberty. The story of the flag is the story of a nation learning to hold both permanence and change in the same hand, honoring its origins with 13 stripes, while welcoming new members with fresh stars. Next time you see it, remember that each thread is a chapter, stitched through centuries of hope and conflict. The flag's design was never just about how it looked, but what it meant, a living map of a people's journey. This is Time Storytelling, where history comes alive. If this journey through the evolution of America's flag moved you, please subscribe and join us next time as we unfold another story hidden in the folds of the past. Thank you for watching.